Okay, you guys, I just read a comment and talking about somebody, and I mean, I'll take their word for it because I knew this was going to happen. And I guess with this thing with 50 Cent exposing Oprah, somebody just commented under my last video about will black women support Oprah on her quest to expose pedophiles. That's the title of it. Somebody commented saying that the comments coming from black women. She said she read the comments, and the black women are still, maybe not all of them, but I'm pretty sure a good number of them are still talking about, what about Harvey Weinstein, or Weinstein, whatever his name is. What about Harvey Weinstein? Where are the documentaries on Harvey Weinstein? And I'm going to tell you something, because I am so through being frustrated with black women. And the reason why I'm through being frustrated with black women is because I have cut the energetic cords. I have cut the spiritual cords between myself and black women. Okay? Pretty much the majority of black women. I just had to do it because I don't want that. I don't want to be connected to that type of energy. I don't want any parts of it. Okay, so I have made several audios talking about disconnect spiritually from black women, because black women have sacrificed themselves for the black male. Yes, they have released the black male of a lot of his debts. They have done that. That's why black men have not seen their karma. A lot of them have not seen their karma yet, because it's not going to, a wind is not going to brush through and do something to these men. It's going to take people rising up and doing something about it. And the reason why you see some of these white men getting what they get, I mean, what is a lot of powerful, didn't Matt Lauer, I'm trying to say his name right, but I think it's spelled Lauer, something like that, Matt Lauer. I think he might have got fired too. A lot of these powerful white men were taken down by white women. Harvey Weinstein was taken down. A lot of these powerful white men have been taken down by white women. And so what I'm saying is, they're not waiting on Dark Mother. They're not waiting on Dark Mother to come through and take care of these white men. They gonna take care of business, because they understand in order for that feminine energy to rise and do something about these men, they're gonna have to they're gonna have to do it themselves. That dark feminine energy rises up in people. When you see women finally get tired and they take these guys down, that's that dark feminine energy. Okay, when you see it, you're not going to see that nice girl that they try to promote in those little cutesy movies, you know, those little cutesy movies, those girl next door type of movies. You know, women ain't like that no more, because some of them are getting a more understanding of who men are, okay? They're getting a better understanding of who men are. So you're not seeing this little light feminine energy. This dark feminine is rising up in women now, okay, because they tired of the mess. Okay, and so not to say that all women are innocent. I'm not one of those people that believe all women are innocent, because I know differently. Okay, I know differently. I'm not a person that defends all women. I'm just not, because I know how women are too. Okay, but what I'm saying is that the reason why you have not seen justice in the so-called no longer black community is because black women have not risen up against this abuse. They have not risen up. That's why you have not seen justice. That is why you have not seen karma. Black women do not report anything to the police. Okay, even if their sons get shot. Okay, they will protect the black men who shoot their own sons. They will protect black men who shoot their own sons. So yeah, they protect black men who rape little girls, but they also protect black men who shoot other black men and boys too. They don't snitch on them. Okay? I remember seeing a video, I think it's about Sunshine in the Green. She goes by, her name is Sunshine, but the title of it is UHA. That's the title of her channel now. And she talked about how somebody approached her inappropriately while she was still in Las Vegas, you know, while she was still living there. And she was in the process of moving to New York. And somebody came up to her in an inappropriate way, because they probably have seen her on social media. And she said, get out her face. I think that's what she said. She said, get away from her. He tried to get all hostile and threatened her and get all aggressive. And she called the cops. She did not hesitate to call the cops. And the cops came and said, oh, I'm surprised that you called the police on him. Because this police officer said black women do not call the police on black men. And I know why. It's because now around those Black Power, that's no excuse in 2019. But I know that mess is still sticking. Even though it was some time ago, that energy is still sticking to these women. Okay? And that cop said that he was surprised that she even called, because black women do not call the cops on black men. They don't do it. Okay, they don't do it. And so this is the reason why you're not seeing black men get what was supposed to happen to them. This is why. Somebody asked me, will something ever happen to the black men? Well, yeah, when somebody decides to report it, when somebody decides to snitch. Black people don't want to snitch. You know, black women who get abused don't want to, because they feel like he is such a victim of white supremacy, because that's what they were programmed to believe, and they will not wake up out of that slumber. They won't wake up out of it. Well, some of them are awake. I think black women, I said this before, black women are inherently evil. I understand all this programming, but at the same time, black women are just inherently evil. It's just what it is. Okay? That's why it's time for a new generation of black girls to rise up. I'm going to get to why I call it when it's time to slay, because I had to kind of get into why I'm about to say that. Okay, so yeah, I got that out the way. The reason why you're not seeing karma yet, the reason why you're not seeing justice happen for all these little girls, is because of black women. Because you know, at this point, we know black men are not going to protect black girls or black boys. They're not protecting black boys either. Okay, so the reason why you're not seeing justice is because black women are not rising up. And to be honest with you, the reason why those white women have a strong patriarchy, because white women ain't having it. White women stood up against Harvey Weinstein. White women stood up against Matt Lauer, lawyer. I can't say his name right. But anyway, white women stood up against those men. And then you have some white men that might want to have their back. For the most part, that was a white women standing up and taking those men down. They didn't have a whole lot of support from their males, okay, from their men. They didn't. They stood up and supported each other, okay? So what I'm saying is that it's not always about having the male counterpart to support you, because for the most part, when these white women stood up against these pedophiles and these people who sexually harassed them, they didn't have a lot of support from men either. Okay, even though they supposedly have a patriarchy that defends them, they didn't have a whole lot of support from white men either. White women took their behinds down. So what I'm saying is that black women do not need black men's help to take these men. If black women can stick together like white women stick together, you're going to see some karma, because, you know, what they say, her name is Karma, is something going to come to you, and her name is Karma, and Karma is a what? They call her an itch, start with a B. Okay? When black women get together like those white women do, then you're going to see some karma. Then you're going to see where it's going to come back on these guys. So the fact that a lot of women are not ready to support Oprah, you're still not going to see justice. You're still not going to see justice, because black women are not ready to support each other the way that white women support each other. And this is when we get to the point where I say when it's time to slay. When it's time to slay. Okay, so I feel strongly like within maybe the next year, no later than the next year, no later than the end of next year, I'm ready to have a new group of black girls rise up. I'm ready to have a new group of black girls rise up. I am sick of this energy. And I'm going to say this right quick, because I'm not going to make a separate video about it. I know people are I'm going to say I know people are concerned about a lot of black women getting killed, and that's understandably so. Here's what I want to say. Right now, if you know that you are a so-called black woman or whatever you want to call yourself, and you are not in agreement with black women who still want to coddle these men, if you know that you're not in agreement with that, you know that you're kind of innocent when it comes to that, I suggest you get out of black neighborhoods. I suggest you get, here's why. Because it's going to come a time when that energy starts to change over in black women. It's already starting to change over. Even though you see a lot of black women still being kind of foolish, everybody can see the shift. Everybody, even non-black people can see the shift, even though it's still a lot of foolish black women, okay? And what I'm saying is, if it gets too big, don't wish for this shift to get to move too soon, because although you want black women to leave right now, you don't want to be stuck in a black neighborhood while these black women walking away, because these men are pretty aggressive, okay? They can be pretty aggressive. They are like brute beasts, okay? And so if you stuck around them because you want black women to leave so bad and you want them to all leave at once, and you stuck there with these men, they're going to take you down. That you're going to be in trouble if you stuck around them, okay? Especially if you stuck in a black neighborhood. So don't be so quick to want all black women to leave at the same time. Now, I know we all know that all black women are not going to walk away at the same time, but it is definitely a shift happening, because everybody at this point can see it. Everybody at this point can see it, okay? And it's not happening fast, but that is a good thing, because that gives you time to prepare for your exit. Don't wish. I know you want to see the best for black women. I understand that, but do not be in such a hurry to wish that everybody vacate the premises at once and walk away from these guys, because they're going to be pissed and they're going to do some killing, okay? And they're going to do some raping. You don't want to be stuck in no black neighborhood. So let these women, if you want to call them mammies, mules, whatever you want to call them. I don't get into all the name calling. I mean, not to say that I'm against anybody who says those words, or pick Misha. I'm not against those terms, but I just don't get into name calling like that, okay? But what I was going to say is, let those people who want to be like that, let them stay behind. They're giving you time to make your exit. They're giving you time to make your exit, because if they all change like at one time like you want them to, then you just might be in trouble if you left behind, okay? If you stuck in that area, okay? Because these guys at this point, they're not going to see that they're doing anything wrong. They never see that they do anything wrong, and so they're not going to feel like they're wrong in harming you. They're not going to think they're wrong. They don't care, okay? When it's time to slay. So I want to have the wheels in motion on what I plan to do with. I can't do it with all black girls because I'm just one person, but I can get the ball rolling, and I can try to get some help, you know, and try to have a new group of black girls rise up, okay? Have a new type of energy rise up, because it's time for this crazy mess. These current women right now, a lot of them, especially the ones that still want to talk about Harvey Weinstein, talking about what about Harvey Weinstein? They did that with R. Kelly too. They did that with R. Kelly. They keep bringing up white men every time a black man is called out for being a pedophile or a rapist. They keep bringing up Harvey Weinstein, like they keep bringing up white men, okay? And so I'm not even interested in even being frustrated with these type of women anymore. I'm not even interested in being frustrated with them. What is time to do is raise up a new group of energy, a new type of energy in black girls that's not going to take this mess, and teach them of how the horrible decisions that a lot of black women made in the past, and how black girls were so unprotected by their mothers, you know, and things like that. And obviously, you know, by the patriarchs, they were unprotected. That's kind of common knowledge. But, you know, teach them, it's almost like showing them history, the history of how black women used to be, and how it was such a lack of protection for the black woman and girl, to the point where, you know, black women defend, you know, rapists and pedophiles. And just raise up a new type of energy. Just raise up a new generation. Raise up a new generation of black girls that ain't having this mess. Okay? And it's not to raise her to be militant. It's not to raise her to be militant, but it's to raise her in a way that she has a right to her femininity. She has a right to be a woman. She has a right to be a brown woman, or a brown girl. It's not to make her militant with a gun and a huge afro and ready to shoot somebody. It's just to raise her up to, just like these other groups of women are raised up, to not feel bad for being a woman, to not feel bad for being feminine, and to speak up when it's time to speak up. Okay, don't be afraid to call the police on somebody talking about a victim of white supremacy. So that's what I mean. I'm not talking about no pumping your fists in the air and having, shotguns and stuff like that. Even though it's good, you should be protected. But I'm talking about raising them to think differently. That's what I mean. And when I'm talking about time to slay, it's time. A lot of us have been held back from our life path because of diabolical, now I know some people say, well, nobody can hold you back. I'm going to have to say I have to beg to differ, only because I have come to learn the metaphysical world, and I have come to learn the type of impact that things have been done in the metaphysical world. I have learned, I have seen the impact that it has had on my life. Things that have been done in the spiritual world towards me by the woman who raised me. I don't even want to call this woman my mother anymore. The woman who raised me and the brother who I grew up with. A lot of stuff that they did in the metaphysical world, because I was so unaware of it, and they crossed my intuition. They were affecting me badly because I was not aware. And even when I did still become aware, it was still a battle. Okay, it was still a battle because they had too much access to me. I was a child. So I don't want to get into that story again, because I talked about it before, especially on my other channel called Journey into Highest Potential. I really go into detail about that. What I'm saying is that, yes, people can hold you back. Don't let anybody tell you that nobody can hold you back if you really want to do it. Now, if you really want to do it, if true enough, if you really, really determined to do something, it's going to be a fight, but you'll get there eventually, but you still could die trying. The metaphysical world is no joke. It is no joke. You can listen to this. It's a YouTuber named Isabel Mitten that talk about dark witch doctors who do a lot of dark things towards her because they're so jealous of her light. They're so jealous of her light that a lot of dark witch doctors do a lot of things to her. They attack her in her sleep. It's not a joke. She wants to be a writer, and her mother put some juju on her a long time ago because she said her mother felt like writing was for whores. And so her mother and her brother and her family is doing so much spiritual work towards her that it's hard for her to get her work off the ground. Literally, she's a good writer. Her work has been in colleges, but she cannot sell copies. That's the work of a hexing. That is the work of a serious hexing. Don't let anybody tell you that it ain't real. So that's why I say I have to beg to differ when it says nobody can stop you from what you really want. I have to beg to differ. I have to beg to differ, because those people, when they say that, they have no knowledge of the metaphysical world. They have no knowledge. When they say things like that, they just say things that sound positive, but they have no knowledge of the metaphysical world. They don't understand the kind of things, because she herself has not been cursed like that. She feels like other people should be able to move forward, and she doesn't. Because another person might not have been who says that, because that person might not have dealt with those kind of problems in the metaphysical world from other people, then he or she may feel like it's not real. Okay, it doesn't exist, and it's just a part of your imagination, because they themselves have not experienced those kind of problems. Okay, and so that's what I'm saying. it's getting to a point where it's time to stop allowing other people to prevent us from getting into our life path. A lot of us know what our life path is. Now, we're going to be doing different things in our life, because your life path is not just one thing. See, right now you can be, you might have, you might be called to do something and it might last for 3 years. And then the next 3 years you might be called to do something different. So a life path is not just one particular thing. That's the whole thing about it. And some of us are so behind because you have some people who could be doing things and you're not aware of it in the spiritual realm. You're not aware of it in the spiritual realm. And as much as you try to get into your purpose, just like Isabel Mitten wanted to get into writing, but as much as she try to sell copies, as much as she hire a publicist, as much as she does everything, as much as people love her work, she cannot sell one copy. And it's because she has been jujued, okay? She's been jujued. And she doesn't fight back, really, because she is a person of the light. And so these dark forces keep, messing with her, okay? It does affect your life. It does affect your life. And a reason why I'm saying it's time to slay, because I know the feeling. I know the feeling. I'm not a writer, but I will say when I first came to Los Angeles and I wanted to explore a little bit of acting, and I made the mistake of telling the mother and the brother about it, not knowing that they were into dark arts, dark magic, not knowing that they were into that stuff. I was telling my business to them. And I could not, something kept going wrong. It's like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And next thing I know, a voice came to me, a male voice came to me, and it said, you were hexed. Well, yeah, that stuff does work. If you don't know what's happening to you, then you, all kind of stuff happens in your life and you don't know why. You think it's just a bunch of bad luck. You think you're just having a bad day. You think it's just life. You think it's life, it's life, it's part of life. Ups and downs is just part of life. You don't know that somebody done did some stuff to you. They done did some spiritual work, and you brushing it off as it's just a part of life. Okay? So, to end this on when it's time to slay, because I know I kind of got a little long-winded there, but to end this on when it's time to slay, it's time to take care of business. I'm not going to say exactly how you should take care of business on your part, but I know exactly what I'm going to do. I am no longer going to tolerate anybody stopping me from my destiny because they want to be ugly and they want to just be a dark being, okay? I don't have anything against dark magic. Well, I have something against dark magic used to hurt innocent people that haven't done anything to them. But now, when it comes to fighting back and defending yourself, it's going to take yourself, getting in that ring and knocking a butt out like a TKO, okay? And that is what's going to have to happen. This is how you might have to slay people who are trying to hold you back. It's time for you to move into your destiny, and you feel like spiritually, or it could be physically, it might not be spiritually, but you feel like something is holding you back, and you feel like the people who could be holding you back. It's time to, well, in my case, it's time to stop having, the patience is completely gone. There's no patience. These people have run out of grace. They have been warned many, many times to stop what they're doing, and they have not stopped. So at this point, there is no mercy. It's time for me to move on. And that means by any means necessary. Whatever happens to them, happens to them. But they no longer have any right to hold me back. And that's what I'm saying. It's time to slay. It's time to slay. And I might go more into that because I want to talk about that. How it's a split happening right now. There is a split happening right now between energies. And a lot of these people who are very dark people, when I mean dark, I'm talking about dark souls. I'm not talking about dark skin. I'm talking about dark souls. They are purposely holding on to you. They are purposely trying to put invisible chains on you. So even when you feel like you have moved past the situation, even when you feel like you don't care about a situation, it does not matter. These people are working in the spiritual realm, and they got invisible chains. They got spiritual chains on you that no matter how much you say that you forgive, no matter how much you say that you're over something, they are doing spiritual work, and they are still holding you back, whether you think about them or not. And it's time to not have any more mercy on these people. The energies are splitting. There is about to be a huge split between people who were decent, I'll say. I don't want to say good and bad and good and evil, but I will say there's a split between people who are of a lower vibrational type, who do lower vibrational things, okay? There's a split between someone who's doing lower vibrational type of things and those who are, doing things differently. Okay, there's a current split happening. And those people who are in the more of the lower vibration, they are working overtime to make sure those other ones stay behind. Okay. And it's time to no longer have mercy on these people. It's time to, in so many words, put them out of their misery, however you decide to do it. Okay? It doesn't always have to be by violence, but I don't want to be loving light here either. But anyway, it's time for me to get off of this. I know I went into 3 different topics because it was titled When It's Time to Slay, and I talked about, people in the comment section. I started off talking about women in the comment section, talking about 50 Cent exposing Oprah. And basically I said that because I know that I'm supposed to be dealing with girls, but I'm currently battling in the spiritual world against family members. And it's getting to the point where it's just time to let that part of my life go. Okay, it's time, because it's going to be new battles, new levels, new devils. Okay, so it's never, a lot of times, as long as you're on earth, sometimes the spiritual warfare never ends. But this right here that's going on with family members, this stuff is old, and it's time for them to go. Okay, and I have my own ways of how it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to be, by violence, but I'm just saying it's time for that chapter to end. It's time to move on. Okay. They keep trying to do things. And that's what I say my title is. It's time to slay. And for you, it could be something happening with you where you feel like you trying to move forward, but something keep holding you back. If you're trying so hard to move forward and something keep holding you back, that is some spiritual stuff going on. That sounds like a hex. I know some people don't want to believe in that stuff, but if you trying your hardest to move forward and something keep holding you back, that sounds like it might be a hex. And if you don't believe in it, that's fine, but you're going to be 50, 60, 70 years old trying to wonder why you never got what you wanted out of life as hard as you tried. It's because of a hex. And I'm at a point in my life, I'm no longer dealing with these people. Black people put a lot of hexes on each other. Somebody asked if Africans practice all this magic. One person said, Isabel Minton said herself that Africans are the kings of the metaphysical world. African people are literally the kings and queens of the metaphysical world. And so you ask yourself, if they are the king and queens of the metaphysical world, why can't they protect their own land? Because they're so busy hurting each other. They are so busy using this magic, using all this knowledge of the metaphysical world. They're so busy using that to attack each other that they don't attack other people who could be the real threats. Okay, that's why. No different from what Black American people do. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to end here, and you guys let me know what you think.